Joined by Chris Honeycutt this morning. He's going to be taking on Costello van Steenis at Bellator 210 on November 30th. Chris, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Now, today is Monday, the start of the week. What does a typical Monday look like for you?
Well, I'm down here in Huntington, actually. I was on that's why I texted you last night. I drove in. I got in around midnight last night. I'm down here helping Chuck with his fight coming up on the 24th. So I'm doing my camp at the body shop in Metroflex this camp. So yeah, Antonio McKee's a interesting guy. He's got this very unorthodox way of training, and it's really kind of growing on me.
Good. Yeah. I mean, well, it's paid off. You see what AJ's been able to do in the cage.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be attracted to that type of training as far as what AJ's been able to put together. What's it like getting to train with AJ and, just seeing the skill that he has for such a young kid?
No, I mean it's good. I mean, if you didn't know him or know his record and know that you would never think of it. He's the whole gym, everyone there. I mean, I'm working with like Brandon Halsey, AJ Pico. Um, Last week I got to roll with I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong. I'm having a brain fart already because
No worries.
it's
There's a lot of good talent in the gym, though, by the sounds
yeah,
of
there
it.
are a lot of names, and then not to mention just then I'm working out with Chuck, obviously, as well. And to work with someone that's, you know, pushing 49, 50 years old, that's, making a comeback to beat Tito for the third time, that's, in that trilogy fight, it's a real honor to be in the gym with him. And that's another big reason why I'm down here is he wanted me down here for his camp.
So, did Chuck reach out to you? How did that come together?
Yeah, he actually came up to Fresno for a couple of weeks, about 8, 9 weeks ago, just to kind of get the wheels moving again. And he liked how I was able to, work with him and really push his pace. Didn't have to worry about, tweaking a knee or this or that. And we're both wrestlers, and I'm used to training with Koscheck, and my work ethic's good. So I don't know exactly what it is. You'd have to ask him on that. But we hit it off, and he said that he's going to start camp on XYZ date and go to here, and he wants me down here, and I just happen to get lucky enough to get my own camp. So now not only am I helping him, I'm also helping myself because my gym in Fresno actually fell apart very shortly after he left. Ellsworth, Deron Wynn, Ed Ruth. Deron Wynn went off to AKA because he became DC's assistant wrestling coach. And then Ed Ruth actually left like very abruptly and went down to San Diego to train with Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis.
Okay, interesting. Just quickly on Chuck, how's he looking in the gym? I mean, I know you'll be a little bit biased, but I mean, he's 49 years old. Are you surprised with how much he's been able to sort of put in there for this camp?
Yeah, well, from when he was in Fresno, just kind of getting the wheels going to now, it's almost like night and day. It would be the only other way I can sarcastically kind of resemble it would be like fighting somebody that's a week out or after a fight when they just binge drink and treat their body like a shithole, and then have them go out and just try to reproduce that same performance versus they're a couple days out and they're right before weight cut and they're in peak conditioning, and then having them fight themselves. He looks very well, very good. He's fast, but I mean, and it's amazing too because there's so many things that he's doing that I was never even aware that was possible. The latest technology of he was always wearing a headset to increase brain waves for the learning productivity or muscle twitch. To the cell coach, he's in there testing his blood before, during, and after to see which amino acids are breaking down or is he using faster, and so he's got it all dialed in to not just a good health plan, but also from a science aspect to the molecule level. So Chuck's it's amazing how he can take so much time off and be where he is today.
Fantastic. Just quickly on Dethrone. So is Koscheck still running the gym? What's sort of the latest with that gym as far as all the members sort of disbanding, like you were mentioning?
Yeah, well, it's not so much the members. The members are all there, so the gym's staying. But the as far as the fight team goes, I mean, there's still a
Fight team.
couple.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
There's still a couple fighters there, but I mean, they were there beforehand because that's where they grew up. They're from Fresno. I mean, I moved to Fresno. Koscheck's still, he's still owner of it, or he's split between 50-50 with him and his partner, Jason Kraft. But he's got his hands full. He's real busy. He's in Raleigh, North Carolina, um, doing check defense. Building a company and a brand. So he's been good 70, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Cranking out hard work there. And the last time I talked to him, he's very successful in it, and says he works a lot of hours, so it's not like fighting, but he's enjoying it.
That's good. Good to see him having success after MMA because I know it doesn't always turn out that way for everyone. How often do you talk to Josh? In terms of keeping in touch with him.
I mean, we'll text probably not as much as we should. Just probably a couple of times just in the last couple of years, just because I know he's so busy, so I don't want to bug him. And then, my life's not all that interesting. He's done it his whole life. Eat, sleep, train, and goof off a little bit when you can.
Well, you got a pretty interesting fight coming up here. I mean, I'm looking at the middleweight division, and it looks like Lovato Jr. and Musasi is next in the middleweight division. But this has got to be right up there for a contenders fight. You're taking on Costello van Steenis. He's got that 10-1 record. How do you feel like you match up against him?
Yeah, I feel like I match up real good. I mean, his only loss is to one of my friends, Boswick. I actually spent a week out at American Top Team a couple of years ago with Boswick, and I was able to help Boswick a lot in his wrestling. I actually, now that I think about it, since you asked the question, I'm gonna look back and see if that was before or after I met him when their fight took place. But it looked like Boswick was just caught him with a couple punches and then stuffed takedowns the whole time. And I'm not gonna try to belittle Boswick at all or make myself seem arrogant. Maybe my wrestling is tenfold better than Boswick's. If anything, he actually seeked me out to help him with his wrestling and to make it better, and to be able to watch the fight and him stuff takedowns so easily. I don't see how Van Steenis is gonna. If his plan is to take it to the ground, he's better start jumping guard. We're practicing that because he's certainly not going to get on top of me.
You mentioned training at the body shop. Is that like a permanent move, or are you just doing it for this camp and seeing how it goes?
Well, I actually spent a week out in Cleveland at Stipe's gym out there.
Oh, strong style, nice.
Strong style. I was in the process, or I should say was. I'm in the process of looking for a new gym. I would prefer to be on the East Coast in that time zone because my family's in Charlotte. And
oh, right, okay.
so my whole family literally is like a hub there. It's a family company and all that. So I'm about as far as I can get from the family as I can, other than maybe another 45 minutes close to the ocean. But they're only about an hour from the ocean on the other side of the country. So I would like to get in the same time zone so that I could drive to visit them. But I like it here. If I can't find a gym that I feel as comfortable or more comfortable in, because the most important thing is finding a gym that's not going to hold me back or plateau me, but excel me and to be the best I can. But but now that I'm in training camp, I kind of put that on pause until after training camp, and then I'll seek out other gyms.
I was going to say, you're a really good family member then if you're willing to leave the warm weather in California to move out east. I mean, I guess unless you went to Florida, but no, that's interesting. Well, hopefully that all works out. You obviously come from a wrestling background, so I'm sure the weight cut is never an issue for you. But how's that going ahead of this matchup? Because you got Thanksgiving coming up. You're going to have to skip that one, I guess.
Yeah, well, being a wrestler since I was 4, I mean, I've only had a couple Thanksgivings in my life where I could actually gorge. Mainly them being when I started fighting, because depending on where the fight lands. But that's an easy sacrifice for me. If anything, it makes Christmas seem a lot better. But weight cut. I mean, that's easy now. I used to cut down to welterweight, so having the extra 16 pounds, it makes it enjoyable.
Okay. And as far as prediction for this fight, how do you see this fight playing out on the 30th?
Ooh, I think I'll break him probably late first, early second. I, I think I think best case scenario is that maybe like 3 minutes into the second, 4 minutes in the second, I'm gonna get the TKO. But but it won't go the distance. I strongly believe that I'll be able to finish him by just one out working him. I feel like my cardio, my wrestling is just more relentless. So if he make it past the second, I think I'll get the TKO in the third for sure.
And if you get a TKO here, do you feel like a title shot is next, that you will get the winner of Lovato Jr. and Musasi here? Because again, 11-2 record, that's pretty impressive.
Is that a fact now? I haven't really been following.
Well, I'm just going by based off what they're saying. I mean,
Okay.
Lovato Jr. He's still
I want him to
undefeated.
get a title shot because I fought him, and
And you went the distance with him, which that looks even better now because Lovato Jr. is submitting everyone except for you.
yeah, and I still think I won that fight. I mean, I don't know how they gave him the which I can say I don't know how. I obviously know how they did it because they were saying it. The commentators were kind of mentioning it. But how someone can be considered doing the offense? I mean, he's 6'4". He put his arm around my neck and he hung out with his back against the cage. And I mean, there's reasons why I fought the way I did and as conservative as I did. But it all come off sounding like excuses. But I still think I won that fight, and I know a couple people have mentioned that to me as well. That they weren't roughing the fight, but they were refs, and they said, and then even today they say that the way that they ref fights now are a little different, and then how aggression and offensive ability is the two biggest factors now, especially when you get two fights when there's not really that much action. Because I was only hit 4 times the entire fight. Um, but yeah, no, I really hope he gets that. He deserves it. He's undefeated, and he's 10-0 now. Um, and I want him to be the champ because that gives me a really good backing as far as arguing to be the first person to take it from him.
Right.
That way,
Okay. I like your line of thinking.
that way I won't be upset anymore because in long run I get the belt and I'm still victorious anyways.
Last question before I let you go. What does downtime look like for you, being away from home, so to speak, and training at this camp? Like, are you getting to watch any TV or play any video games? Like, what are you doing outside of camp when you're trying to keep yourself sane with all this fight stuff going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm normally doing, but now I'm down in LA. I'm driving, so
Oh, okay.
I find myself behind the wheel of behind the wheel of my truck. Just it's either sitting.
Got a podcast going, or what are you listening to?
No, oh, I should actually. That would be smart to do a couple podcasts. And I've just been listening to the local radio, or just rolling the windows down and listen to the air. Especially when I hit that Pacific Coast Highway here. It's nice to stare at the ocean. All those oil rigs out there off Huntington. So it's nice. But yeah, no, I don't get to play as many video games and watch as much TV as I do when I had camp in Fresno. A lot more driving around, and and it's new because I get to meet the guys at the gym. I get Antonio's a character. He's very friendly, and the whole gym is. The spirits are real high. Everyone's goofing off with one another. So even after practice, I find myself not leaving right away, but yet hanging around, making jokes and enjoying camp.
This is going to be an awesome card. November 30th, it is Bellator 210. Chris, it was great getting a chance to catch up with you again, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Oh, yes, thank you. You can you can watch the fight on Paramount Network. It's going to be Friday the 30th. I don't know the exact time. I want to see around 5:30, depending on what time zone you're in. But yeah, I mean, you can find me at Chris the Cut, both Instagram and Twitter. I'm more active on Instagram. Facebook's just Chris Honeycutt. And I guess a shout out to my sponsors would be Oak Grove. They're my first sponsorship. Stay with me since the beginning. And then there's my family company, Salesforce, Maximus Lighting, and then my newest sponsor would be his name's my buddy Bobby Menery. He does Ripper Magoo. He's a does his pop the Instagram sensation star. He does the talk over for NFL and NBA and all that. So it's pretty cool. Thanks for all the support, and yeah, look forward to getting another W in on November 30th.